Have you ever looked back at your childhood and thought, those were the days when time flew by, laughter came easy, and my mind felt light and free? It's funny, isn't it? When we were kids, play was the most natural thing in the world. We didn't need a reason to run around, imagine new worlds, or laugh for no reason. But somewhere along the way, play started to feel optional. Or worse, childish. And yet, here we are, at a time in life when our brains crave stimulation, movement, and joy more than ever, and what are we told? Take it easy. Slow down. Stay safe. And of course, rest is important. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful ways to keep your brain young after 60 isn't found in a vitamin bottle or a crossword puzzle? It's in play? That's right. Your brain still needs to play. Not just to pass time, but to stay sharp, alert, creative, and emotionally light. Play helps you focus better. It helps you problem solve. It even improves memory, reduces stress, and boosts your mood. And the best part? It doesn't feel like work. In this video, we're going to explore 6 types of playful, fun, and totally doable activities that feed your brain without feeling like a chore. You don't need to be a child to play. You just need to be open to joy. Let's begin with the first one, and this might surprise you, improv-style storytelling. I know. You might be thinking, I'm not a performer. But hold on. This isn't about acting on stage or making a fool of yourself. It's about improvising, in conversation, in storytelling, even in the kitchen. Have you ever told a funny story to a grandchild and made up silly voices? Or added a wild twist to a memory just for laughs? That's improv. It activates so many parts of the brain: memory, language, emotional tone, imagination. And it doesn't require a script. Just the willingness to be a little spontaneous. Here's something simple you can try today. Look at an old photo and make up a whole imaginary story about it, even if you know the real one. Just let your brain play with it. Or call a friend and say, let's pretend we're planning a trip to Mars. What would we pack? It might sound silly, but that's exactly the point. Silliness is fuel for the brain. It relieves tension, sparks creativity, and helps you feel connected, not just to others, but to your own vibrant self. And that brings us to another playful habit that can literally reshape your brain: creative movement. Now, before you panic, I'm not talking about intense workouts or yoga poses that tie you in knots. I'm talking about playful movement. Dancing in the living room. Waving your arms to music. Swaying while you stir the soup. Even gentle stretching that feels more like moving than exercising. Movement that's free and expressive lights up brain areas that structured exercise just doesn't reach. It taps into rhythm, memory, emotion, and spatial awareness. And here's the secret: when you smile while you move, it doubles the benefit. Why? Because the brain associates play with safety, with creativity, with fun. So when your body moves in a joyful way, even just for 5 minutes, your brain interprets it as, we're alive. We're well. Let's grow. You could turn on a song from your teen years and just let your body sway. Or you could invent your own 2-step shuffle in the kitchen while you wait for the kettle to boil. Whatever it looks like, don't worry about looking graceful. Focus on how it feels. That sense of lightness, that's the brain waking up in the best possible way. And now that we've talked about movement, let's shift to a different kind of play, one that's more strategic, but just as fun: games that involve a bit of friendly competition. No, I'm not saying you need to join a poker league or enter a Scrabble championship, unless you want to. But small games, card games, board games, word games with a friend, can be the perfect mental challenge when played in a social or low-stakes setting. Here's the key: the game should be lighthearted. Not overly serious or stressful. When you're playing for fun, not for pride, your brain relaxes enough to enter a kind of flow state, where learning, memory, and focus all increase. And if you're playing with someone else, the social connection boosts the benefit even more. In fact, One of the best brain workouts you can get doesn't come from solving puzzles alone. It comes from playful banter, laughter over silly mistakes, and the kind of joy that sneaks up on you in the middle of a game when everyone's just enjoying the moment. My neighbor Irene, she's 82, hosts a weekly game of dominoes. And trust me, you don't want to underestimate that table of grandmas. They laugh, tease, joke, and challenge each other. She says those evenings are her mental gym. And I believe her. You should see how sharp she is. So the next time someone asks if you're free for cards or charades, say yes. And if no one asks, you be the one to suggest it. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be fun. Now that we've explored a few powerful examples, storytelling, movement, and games, we're starting to see the pattern. Play keeps your brain curious, creative, and connected. And when we treat play as just as important as sleep, food, or exercise, we give our minds the kind of care they truly deserve, joyful, light, and completely human. Now, let's keep this momentum going, because we've got a few more playful, brain-boosting ideas to explore. Ones that might surprise you even more. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now that you've seen how something as simple as telling a silly story, dancing in your kitchen, or playing a lighthearted game can breathe new life into your mind, let's look at a few more playful activities that do wonders for your brain without ever feeling like homework. Next up is something incredibly powerful, but often overlooked: artistic play. That might mean painting, coloring, knitting, doodling, sculpting with clay, or even rearranging your spice rack in rainbow order if that's what delights you. The form doesn't matter, what matters is the creative freedom behind it. See, when you engage with something artistic, your brain lights up in a beautiful way. It's like it says, we're not just surviving today, we're creating. That tiny shift brings a cascade of benefits: better memory recall, improved attention span, emotional balance, and even a greater sense of confidence. And you don't need to be good at art for it to work. In fact, it works best when you let go of any pressure to create something perfect. Play is not about the end result, it's about the joy in the process. The same way kids don't worry if their crayon drawings look like Picasso, they just enjoy the feel of making something. One woman I met, her name's Dolores, picked up watercolors again at age 74, after not painting for decades. She paints flowers, birds, the occasional silly portrait of her cat. And she told me, it's the one thing that makes me forget I'm even aging. That's the magic of playful creativity. It doesn't just make the brain younger, it makes you feel younger too. And speaking of forgetting time, that leads us to another deeply nourishing form of play: puzzles and brain teasers that spark curiosity. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of puzzles you feel obligated to do, just because you heard they're good for you. I mean the ones that make you say, I want to figure that out. Crosswords, logic games, trivia quizzes, riddles, word jumbles, mystery stories where you guess the ending. These activities aren't about proving how smart you are. They're about engaging your natural sense of wonder. And wonder, my friend, is fuel for the mind. A fun riddle or visual puzzle makes you think differently. It nudges you to consider new patterns, connect the dots, and sometimes even laugh at yourself. That laughter, that moment when you go, "Oh, I get it," is actually your brain forming and strengthening new neural pathways. And guess what? Every time you feel that spark of aha, you're rewiring your brain to be more adaptable. And that adaptability is a key ingredient to staying mentally youthful. So the next time you're flipping through a magazine or browsing online, pause when you see a fun brain teaser. Spend a few minutes with it, even if it stumps you. That moment of stretch, of trying, is the brain's version of a satisfying stretch after a long nap. Now, I want to share one more activity for today, one that might be the most powerful of all. Ready for it? Laughter. Real, joyful, belly laughter. Yes, laughter counts as play. In fact, it's one of the purest forms of play the human body and mind can experience. It relaxes your nervous system, increases oxygen to your brain, lowers stress hormones, and even strengthens memory. And beyond the physical, it lifts your spirit. We often think laughter just happens when something is funny. But the truth is, we can invite it into our day, just like we would take a walk or drink a glass of water. Watch a silly video. Call the friend who always cracks you up. Tell a ridiculous story from your past, maybe even exaggerate it for comedic effect. You don't need to force laughter, just create space for it. Lighten up the routine. Give yourself permission to be amused, even at life's small absurdities. Laughter tells your brain, we are safe. We are connected. We are here to enjoy this. And that single message can bring more healing than a dozen supplements. So today, even if you don't do anything else, find one thing that makes you smile, truly smile. Let that smile grow into a chuckle. And if it becomes a full-blown laugh, congratulations. You've just given your brain one of the best workouts it can get. By now, you're probably starting to notice a theme: play isn't frivolous. It's vital. It doesn't take hours. It doesn't require special skills. But it does require intention, the willingness to let go of being serious and step into a moment of joy. Whether it's dancing, doodling, solving a riddle, or laughing at a corny joke, each playful moment tells your brain, stay curious. Stay flexible. Stay alive. And when your brain hears that message day after day, even in small doses, something beautiful starts to happen. You begin to feel lighter, sharper, more present. Not because you're chasing youth, but because you're feeding what keeps the spirit of youth alive: wonder, fun, and connection. Let's keep the spirit of that aliveness going. We've got a few more playful gems to explore that can keep your mind sparkling and your heart full of joy. By now, we've explored how play doesn't just belong to children, it belongs to anyone who wants to stay mentally young, joyful, and alive. Whether it's telling a story with a silly twist, dancing to your favorite tune, solving a puzzle, or laughing until your cheeks hurt, these simple, joyful activities are the brain's favorite kind of exercise. Let's look at one more powerful form of play, and this one's especially meaningful because it connects both the mind and the heart: role play or pretend scenarios. Now, that might sound a little theatrical, but hear me out. You don't need a costume or a script. All you need is a willingness to imagine yourself in a different role, for fun. Have you ever played shopkeeper with your grandkids, or pretended you were on a tropical beach while soaking your feet in warm water at home? That's role play. It's imaginative, low pressure, and surprisingly engaging for the brain. It builds empathy, boosts creativity, and encourages mental flexibility, a skill that's just as important at 70 as it is at 7. And if you don't have kids around? No problem. Try something simple. Next time you're cooking dinner, pretend you're hosting a cooking show. Talk through the steps out loud. Add flair. Or next time you're gardening, pretend you're on a nature documentary. Here we see the rare tomato plant thriving under the tender care of a wise horticulturist. You see? It doesn't have to be serious. That's the magic. This type of playful pretend lets your brain explore new roles, switch perspectives, and enjoy the unexpected. It reminds you that life doesn't always have to be practical. Sometimes, it just gets to be playful. And now, to bring everything we've talked about full circle, let's finish with this simple truth: play connects you to yourself. It brings you back to that version of you that felt free, curious, even mischievous, the part that giggled over nothing, that tried new things without fear, that found beauty in little surprises. You see, play doesn't just keep your brain sharp. It keeps you you. So here's what I want you to remember as we wrap up today: you don't have to earn play. It's not a reward for getting through your to-do list. It's a vital part of keeping your brain and your spirit thriving. You don't have to do all 6 activities at once. Start small. Pick one that made you smile today. Maybe it's sketching something. Maybe it's calling a friend to play a silly word game. Or just putting on music and letting your feet tap while you make breakfast. Every small act of play sends your brain a message: I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still here. And here's the beautiful thing: no matter what age you are, the brain always responds to joy. It doesn't care how many candles were on your last birthday cake. It just cares that you keep showing up with curiosity, with laughter, and with the courage to be a little playful. So as we end this video, I want to invite you to do one small thing today that feels playful, not productive, not perfect, just playful. Let yourself enjoy it. Let it be light. And then, if you'd like, come back here and share it in the comments. I'd love to hear, what's one playful thing you'll try this week to keep your brain young and your heart smiling? If this video lifted your spirits or gave you some ideas, don't forget to give it a like, and hit that subscribe button if you want more content that helps you live well, think sharp, and age with joy. Because no matter how many birthdays we celebrate, life is always better with a little fun. Here's to living your most playful, vibrant, mentally sharp life at any age. See you in the next video.